Unfortunately, guys, it appears we missed the ice flow here in the river. I was really hoping to get some epic footage like I got last year, but it's gone. But the ducks are flying. So as you can see, no ice. Funny thing is today's Saturday. At the beginning of this week, I was looking at the weather forecast, and Thursday, a couple days ago, was supposed to be 14 degrees Celsius. That's pretty good, considering it's been below zero for the past few weeks. Thursday came, got up to 15 degrees, which was really nice. Unfortunately, I was working. Friday and today, back down to 3 degrees. Still not bad, still not below freezing, but come on, summer. The good news is pretty much all the waterways have opened up. I've checked a few crappie spots, and there's no ice, which is good. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna spool up one of my spinning reels. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Now I know most of you are familiar with how to spool up a spinning reel or how to spool up a baitcaster. There is two different ways of doing it. Baitcaster is obviously different than the spinning gear. If you haven't done that before, I'm going to show you how to put the line on your spool so you don't end up with a bird's nest. Nothing worse than trying to go out fishing and have a good time, cast it out, next thing you know, you got a bird's nest. The key is to match the line with the fish with the lure, and I'll explain that later. So I'm going to head back home to the coffee bar and I'll show you how to do that now. Alright, back inside at the coffee bar, we're going to spool up the spinning gear, and I'm going to show you the difference between the baitcaster and the spinning. I have no string on it right now, it's a little dirty, but sitting in the shed. This is my crappie rod. Now, when you're going to spool the spinning gear, you spool it differently than a baitcaster. As you see here, this is a level wind baitcasting reel. A lot of you may already know this, some of you may not know this, so when you spool a baitcaster, you spool it differently than you do the spinning gear. Now when you're spooling a spinning gear, you don't necessarily need two people to do it. Spool a baitcaster, it does help to have two people do it. How's that working for me? Now, when you're going to spool a baitcaster, this is obviously 6-pound line. This is going to be from my crappie rod, but the string is level. This is level. What I do is I just poke a screwdriver through the center hole, have somebody put a little tension on there and hold it for me, and spool it on here tight. So level for level. If you happen to lay this flat, this now comes off in a coil as opposed to level, because you want it to go on the spinning gear in a coil. So you want it to go on like this and eliminate the bird's nest. Now the other thing is, this is 6-pound test line. Whatever you're going to throw, you want it to match the line. So for example, if I've got 15-pound test line on my spinning gear and I throw a real small jig for crappie, chances are it's going to come off here in a wad. So I just break the rod down in half. It makes it a lot easier to work with. Thread it through the one eye. Now what I like to do is I'll open the bail, then I'll tie it around. Basically I'll take my loop. It's hard to see because I got 6-pound test line. I know you can't see this. Okay, so now I have a cinch knot. So what I do is I'll just feed that around the spool. Try not to break my light with the rod. Okay, so now that's on there. Close the bail. Now I don't know how well you can see this here, but this is coming off in a coil. Okay? Keep the line fairly tight. Alright, we're done. I like to keep it about 1/8 of an inch down below the spool. If you ever need more, you can always add more. And I probably got about enough line left to do a another rod if I want to do so. I don't like to keep changing lures all the time. It's nice to have a couple, 2 or 3 different setups. That way it's just grab and throw. It's that easy. Okay, so to recap, if I want to put line on a bait caster, I want it standing up. Okay, so basically it's going from one to the other. As you saw here, putting line on the spinning gear, you put it down flat and it comes up like a coil, and it goes on here like a coil. So basically it's going on just like this. It's really that easy. Again, match your line with what you're going to throw. This is 6-pound test mono, so I chose 6-pound because 1, it's very small, and 2, I'm going to be throwing some light tackle. There you have it. It's that simple. Alright, so now in all honesty, many times over the years when I first started fishing, and even when I was fishing a lot, I would still have somebody hold this with a screwdriver through it on my spinning gear, and I would put it on this way. More often than not, I would end up with a bird's nest. I just didn't know any better. Just talk to a few people, lay it flat. It then goes on there without a problem. A lot of you may already know this, and that's okay if you do, but a lot of people are new into fishing. This is the easy way to do it. That's all I got for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I am waiting for the warm weather because I need to go fishing. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.